Her past life had been hell. She'd married Asher as she wished, only to discover soon after his heart belonged to another Chloe Bennett, a nouveau riche girl who'd struck it rich in the lottery. Delicate as a white rose that shattered at a touch, Chloe had drowned her sorrows in alcohol and partying over Scarlett's marriage, been harassed by thugs, and attempted suicide 3 times. And Asher had blamed Scarlett for everything. He'd drained the Hale family's entire fortune, gifting it all to Chloe. He'd let Chloe cut the brake lines of her parents' car. In the end, she and her parents had died in a fiery highway crash. Through the flames, she'd seen Asher standing in the distance, holding Chloe in his arms, his eyes cold and indifferent. Did she hate him? A bone-deep hatred. The searing rage tightened Scarlett's fingers until they blanched, nails digging into her palms. The pain jolted her back from the nightmares of her past life. Reborn.
Never again. I don't need to pick.
Scarlett's voice was calm yet unyielding. She picked up a gilded divination cup on the table, shook it gently, and a wooden stick fell out.
Draw lots. Let fate decide.
Her parents exchanged worried glances. They knew all too well her obsession with Asher, a love etched into her bones.
Scarlett, you've liked Ashen since you were little. Maybe we should think it over.
Mrs. Hale urged softly. Scarlett shook her head, bent to pick up the stick, and pointed to the only photo with an aloof aura. The man in the photo wore a simple white linen shirt, short dark hair, sharp and refined features, a detached indifference in his eyes. Killian Cross, the sole heir of Europe's oldest aristocratic Cross family, his wealth immeasurable.
I choose him.
Scarlett pushed the photo toward her parents without the slightest hesitation.
Killian Cross? His temperament is too cold. He lives in seclusion all year round. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Scarlett lifted her gaze, clarity forged from life and death in her eyes.
It's fate. Besides, I want to make the wrong choice again.
Her parents understood her unspoken words instantly. They exchanged a glance and said no more. They'd watched her love Asher in vain in her past life.
All right, we'll contact the Cross family immediately. However, both Hale and Cross are top-tier aristocratic families. To avoid unnecessary troubles, this matter must be kept before the engagement banquet.
Scarlett nodded. She knew Asher's arrogance too well. She changed into a burgundy velvet gown and drove to that night's Manhattan Charity Gala, the most prestigious event in New York's high society, a gathering of celebrities, and an occasion Asher would definitely attend. The moment she stepped into the ballroom, flashlights swarmed. Reporters, like sharks smelling blood, surrounded her instantly.
Will you be announcing your marriage partner tonight?
Everyone knows you're deeply in love with Mr. Voss. Is there good news coming? Will you announce your engagement tonight?
Sharp questions flew one after another. Scarlett's gaze cut through the crowd, landing precisely at the ballroom entrance. Asher Voss walked in. Bodyguard stepped forward to clear the crowd. He wrapped an arm around a petite, delicate girl beside him, gentle, almost doting. It was Chloe Bennett, clad in a white lace dress, her face pale, eyes red-rimmed, like a frightened deer clinging tightly to Asher's chest. Asher bent to press a soft kiss on her forehead. Lifting his gaze, his voice carried across the noisy ballroom, clear and unwavering.
Person I love, from beginning to end, is only Chloe Bennett.
At his words, Chloe blushed, touched, tightening her arms to bury her face in his chest. A murmur rippled through the crowd, several mocking eyes locking onto Scarlett.
So what if she's the Hale family heiress?
The only daughter of a top-tier family, throwing herself at him.
If I were her, I'd have found a hole to crawl into by now.
The jeers pricked Scarlett's heart like fine needles. She merely tilted her head slightly, glancing at the onlookers with indifference. The organizers had seated her right next to Asher. Asher sat down, his blue eyes fixed on her with cold, annoyed disdain.
Scarlett Hale, I've told you countless times I don't want to marry you. Why do you insist on clinging to me?
She'd heard this line 1,000 times. In her past life, she'd apologize humbly, beg for his attention. Now, she only felt ridiculous and sad.
I'm not clinging to you.
Scarlett replied calmly, picking up a glass of champagne and taking a small sip, her tone unruffled.
You dare to quibble? Just because your Hale family is prominent and powerful. You think you can decide my life as you please? You are trampling on my dignity. Even if I am forced to marry you, in this lifetime, I will never look at you even once.
He kept his word. In her past life, he'd never given her a shred of affection, only coldness, disdain, and endless torment. Just then, Chloe walked over, eyes red-rimmed. Before anyone could react, she dropped to her knees in front of Scarlett with a soft thud.
Mrs. Hale, I know you hate me, but my parents are innocent! You had security throw my parents out of the gala. My father almost had a heart attack and died. Please, just leave us alone.
Before Scarlett could grasp the trap in her words, Asher rushed forward, gently lifting Chloe. Turning back to Scarlett, his eyes blazed with undisguised hatred, his voice icy.
What happens between us has nothing to do with Chloe. Why are you doing this to her?
Scarlett frowned. She'd done no such thing.
I didn't.
Asher cut her off.
You've been spoiled since childhood. Lawless, vicious, selfish. Mr. Voss, Miss Hale, this is an engagement gift for you both.
Before he finished, Asher snatched the box and hurled it at Scarlett in full view of everyone.
Scarlett, apologize to Chloe. Otherwise, even if the Voss family can't compare to the Hale family, I will never marry a vicious woman like you.
The box's sharp corner grazed Scarlett's chin, leaving a thin cut. Warm blood welled instantly. Scarlett raised her hand, brushing the wound gently. Her palm stained bright red. She lifted her gaze to Asher's unfamiliar face, the man she'd once loved deeply. Now only cold hatred and cruelty stared back. Her heart turned cold, colder than ice.
I will not apologize for something I didn't do.
Her voice was soft, yet firm, unyielding.
Fine, don't you regret it?
Asher's eyes turned dark. Wrapping his arm around Chloe, he turned and left without a glance. When her parents heard the news, they rushed her back to Hale Manor in panic. A private doctor arrived quickly to treat her wound. Watching their anxious, worried faces, Scarlett felt overwhelming gratitude.
Fortunately, a second chance. Fortunately, they are still here.
In this life, she'd stay far away from Asher Voss and Chloe Bennett, ever. A few days later, the Cross family's engagement gifts arrived at Hale Manor. Priceless diamonds, antique jewelry, limited edition luxury cars, and a diamond platinum bracelet passed down through the Cross generations filled the entire living room. Every piece spoke of the Cross family's utmost respect for the marriage. After thinking it over, she decided to personally custom-make cufflinks for Killian, her unique, heartfelt gift. She discussed the cufflink design with the master craftsman, her fingers tracing the letter C on the sketch Killian's surname initial. Just then, the atelier door swung open.
What are you doing here?
Scarlett looked up to see Asher walking in, holding Chloe's hand-blonde hair, blue eyes, arrogant as ever. The master hurried to explain.
Mr. Voss, Ms. Hale is here to customize her engagement dress and cufflinks. She designed them herself with great care.
I've told you countless times I don't want to marry you. No matter how hard you try, I won't change my mind. Are you even listening? And another thing, I hate engraved cufflinks. Tacky.
She wanted to say these aren't for you, but before she could speak, Chloe's eyes lit up. She stepped past Scarlett.
Wow, this dress is so beautiful.
You like it? We'll have it.
But I want to wear it tonight to go to the concert with you.
Chloe pouted, her voice sweet.
No problem. Tailor it to her measurements. Now.
Here it comes.
Asher, this is my engagement dress.
I don't have time for your Hale family's engagement banquet. Don't bother me. Besides, compared to you, Chloe is more suited to wear this kind of dress.
Just like before, the same words, the same scorn.
Alter it. Now.
I gave you an order.
Ms. Hale's permission is required, Mr. Voss. The Hale family has been our patron for a century.
She likes it, let her have it. Give it to her.
At least you're sensible. After we're married, I'll have dinner with you once a month.
Once a month. A king's ransom for the peasant girl who once loved him.
His arrogant demeanor, as if granting her a great favor, made Scarlett smile, a smile laced with mockery and clarity.
Jealousy. Inferiority masked as arrogance. He resents what I was born with.
What are you smiling at?
He envied my birthright, the apex I never asked for but was given. He used Chloe, a weapon forged from his own security, to wound me, to make himself feel taller. How pitiful. Asher Voss, what makes you sure that the person I'm going to marry is you?
He let out a snort of derision.
Scarlett, you pretending? You Thomas me trains me this drainzung, sure you sight wa. Your every year a person was to arstening me. Since you drain turn arst, you genuine to vary better someone?
Chloe, nestled in his arms, curled her lips into a mischievous grin, and spoke in a feigned soft voice.
Not necessarily, with the Hal family's status. So many wealthy heirs across the country are lining up to marry Scarlett.
Lining up to marry Scarlett.
Even if every man in the world wanted to marry her, she would still only want to be my woman.
Put an arm around Chloe and turned to leave, just before stepping out the door.
Have that dress altered and sent to my home. And those tacky engraved cufflinks, change them all to square ones. No engraving allowed.
The tailor watched them walk away and sighed helplessly.
Miss Hale, what do you think about this?
Don't worry about the cufflinks. He's not the groom. He has no right to dictate.
That night, Scarlett attended a friend's birthday party. Halfway through the party, Chloe showed up late, accompanied by Asher's personal bodyguard. The man carried a red shopping bag and set it right at Scarlett's feet.
Scarlett, I'm so sorry. I wanted to return the dress to you right after the concert, but Ashler insisted we get intimate in the car, and it took up some time.
Everything, you know?
The surrounding guests instantly noticed the scene.
So calm even after this. She must really be desperately in love with Asher.
The only daughter of the Hale family degrading herself like this.
She's really bringing shame to the Hales.
The murmurs pricked at Scarlett like needles. In her past life, a sight like this would have reduced her to tears. But now, she merely cast a cold glance at the ruined gown and said flatly to a nearby waiter,
Take it away. Throw it out. If she likes it, let her keep it.
Left Chloe's carefully planned taunt falling flat. Frustrated and irritated, she clenched her fists and stormed off to a seat in the corner. Soon, Chloe updated her social media, instantly trending #1 in the US. A lovely night. Wearing a perfect dress, holding my love's hand, listening to my favorite concert. The photo showed her and Asher interlocking fingers, dazzling and painful. Countless marketing accounts dug up Scarlett's decades-old posts, confessing love to Asher, comparing them to Chloe's sweet photos. Headlines dripped with mockery. Hale Harris begs for love. Foss Hair adores white moonlight. Worst of all, Asher liked the comparison video. The internet exploded overnight. Scarlett begs for love trended worldwide, turned into memes shared everywhere. Faced with overwhelming mockery and malice, Scarlett calmly deleted all her social media accounts, then sent a message to Hale Group's PR department. 10 minutes later, all malicious hashtags, marketing posts, and memes were erased completely. No trace remained online. The day before the engagement banquet, Scarlett went to Hale Group headquarters for work. As she stepped out of the building, several black-suited bodyguards blocked her path, forcing her into a car. She was taken to the Voss family's private mansion. Inside, Chloe sat on the living room leather sofa, red-eyed, crying softly, delicate and pitiful. Asher sat beside her, murmuring gentle comfort, his gaze tender enough to melt. Seeing Scarlett walk in, Asher's face turned cold instantly. The gentle smile vanished, replaced by icy rage and disdain.
Scarlett Hale, you've gone too far. Chloe just posted one update. Did you really need to have all her social media accounts banned? You know she makes a living through social media. You're cutting off her lifeline. You're just jealous of her.
I only had people remove the malicious hashtags about me. I didn't do anything else.
How dare you lie? Other than you, Scarlett Hale, who else has that kind of power? It's obviously you being jealous of Chloe and deliberately taking revenge on her.
I didn't.
Before Scarlett could finish,
Not even married yet and already daring to talk back to your future husband? Is this how the Hale family teaches their daughters manners?
Asher's mother, Mrs. Voss, dressed in an expensive Chanel suit, makeup immaculate, she sat down in front of Scarlett. Asher's father, who'd always bowed and scraped to the Hales, slouched on the sofa with legs crossed, arrogant disdain in his eyes.
Scarlett, although we don't like spoiled, willful dows like you, since you insist on marrying our son, we'll reluctantly agree.
But we have conditions. The Hale family's dowry must exceed 50% of your total family assets.
Scarlett sneered inwardly. They'd done the same in her past life, greedy, draining the Hale fortune step by step. She shook her head, ready to refuse, when a bodyguard behind her punched her knee hard. Scarlett cried out in pain, collapsing to her knees on the cold marble floor. Sharp agony shot through her knees, memories of being forced to kneel flashing back. Mrs. Voss smirked triumphantly, nodding at a maid. The maid brought a tea tray with a cup of scalding black tea.
Since you're going to be my daughter-in-law anyway, it's not too much to pour your mother in advance in a cup of tea, isn't?
The maid forced the hot cup into Scarlett's hands. The scalding ceramic burned her fingertips instantly. Scarlett instinctively let go. The cup shattered on the floor, hot tea splattering her coat hem.
You've gone too far this time.
Asher shouted, his eyes cold. Scarlett raised her eyes to him.
I will only pour tea for my own in-laws. Don't you not want to marry me? I never planned to marry either.
With that, she pushed herself up, but the bodyguards grabbed her arms tightly, holding her down.
Let go of me! I am the daughter of the Hale family. How dare you treat me like this?
You're about to become part of the Voss family. Why are you still putting on airs as a spoiled princess?
Mrs. Voss's face turned cold. She stepped forward and slapped Scarlett hard across the face. The crisp sound echoed through the empty living room. Sharp and loud. Burning pain spread instantly. The slap overlapped with countless others she'd endured from Mrs. Voss in her past life. She froze.
The engagement banquet is tomorrow, and you're still this insolent.
Mrs. Voss shouted.
Asher, look at the woman you want to marry. Disrespectful, uneducated.
She's the one who's been desperately clinging to me, insisting on marrying me. The one I wanted to marry was Chloe.
Ash, I dream of marrying you, but my family is Portnary. I really can't afford to offend the Hale family.
She cried until she could barely breathe. Asher's heart ached, his expression darkening. He stepped in front of Scarlett, towering over her.
Scarlett, didn't you use every means to marry me? Fine, I agree to it.
But you must guarantee that after marriage, you will not interfere in any of my affairs. You cannot return to the Hale family home. You must stay at the Voss family home, serve if my parents take care of me, and also serve Chloe.
A maid brought over a prenuptial agreement, bold words blaring. 50% of Hale family assets. As dowry, gifted unconditionally to the Voss family. Every word was glaringly greedy and shameless.
Asher Voss! The person I want to marry is not you at all. Still being stubborn!
Mrs. Voss flew into a rage, slapping her again.
The Hale family is considered a top-tier family. How did raise such a disobedient, shameless Today I'll teach your parents a proper lesson.
Bodyguards held her down, helpless. She lost count of the slaps, forced to press her fingerprints again and again. Her fingertips and cheeks burned, her whole body trembling.
For tomorrow's engagement banquet, you must wear this green dress. Chloe and I will both wear red. You are not worthy of wearing the same color as us.
Scarlett was thrown out of the Voss mansion, cold and heartbroken. In her past life, this was how they'd humiliated her, pushing her toward destruction. But this life, she wouldn't be their puppet. The next day, the engagement banquet was held at Hale Castle. White roses and crystals adorned the castle inside and out, luxurious and romantic. All top elite celebrities in America attended, glamorous and star-studded. Scarlett wore a newly custom-made burgundy haute couture gown, the train trailing elegantly, her skin fair, her aura noble, stunningly beautiful. She stood at the castle entrance, greeting guests politely, calm and composed. Around noon, the Voss family arrived late. Dressed head to toe in bright red, they strutted in. Chloe linked arms with Asher, walking side by side, like the real bride and groom. Glaring and mocking, Mr. Voss, who'd always bowed to the Hales, walked all today, arrogant, ignoring everyone as if he were the banquet's true host. Seeing Scarlett in red.
Where are your parents? Call them out! I want to ask them, how does the Hale family raise their daughter? No sense of priority at all!
My parents are inside entertaining guests. If you have business, you can go in and find them.
Scarlett spoke calmly, stepping aside. Mrs. Voss poked her shoulder rudely. Scarlett frowned, dodging her hand. From the corner of her eye, she saw Asher walk over expressionlessly, standing beside her like her fiancé. He looked down at her, blue eyes filled with hatred and mockery.
Scarlett, you got what you wanted. Very proud of yourself, aren't you? But remember this. All you've gotten is my body. My heart will never belong to you.
His tone dripped with malice, as if she'd ruined his life.
Asher, you've misunderstood.
How dare you ignore me? Have you forgotten how you knelt before me yesterday, begging me?
Asher cut her off angrily.
Look closely, everyone!
At his words, Mrs. Voss pulled out her phone, holding it high to show a video Scarlett forced to kneel the day before. The footage was clear. Her kneeling helplessly on the cold floor, held down by bodyguards. Humiliated, reporters broke through security.
Miss Hale, is this a warning from your future mother-in-law? Does this kneeling mean the Hale family will submit to the Voss family?
Does your kneeling mean the Hale family will submit to the Voss family? Being forced to kneel before your engagement ring, do you feel humiliated? Is this the Voss family's way of established dominance?
Tell your mother to turn off the video!
You deserve it.
Asher shook her off roughly.
Asher Voss, Your whole family is simply impossible to reason with!
Scarlet snapped, picking up a crystal thermos from the table to hurl at him. Suddenly, a warm, firm hand reached from behind, gently wrapping around her wrist. The grip was soft yet unyielding, stopping her motion instantly. Scarlet froze, turning back. A tall, straight figure walked toward her in the backlight. It was Killian Cross. His gaze swept calmly over the crowd, finally resting on Asher.
Mr. Voss, how many lives does your mother have that she dares to make my fiancé kneel before her?
His voice was quiet yet carrying the inherent authority of an aristocrat. Every word clear. Killian's voice was not loud, yet it carried a power that silenced the noisy, chaotic crowd instantly. All eyes turned to him shocked, curious. Asher stared for a moment, then scoffed, blue eyes brimming with disdain and contempt.
Tick of the Scotish clooves in the rescorder on sell some crosses. I thought that Scarlet and why Dinkwin Yent, cause a dimming can you go bake out stay.
His tone dripped with mockery, emphasizing my engagement with Scarlet deliberately, challenging Killian. What, mistaking someone else's fiancé for your own?
Scarlet Hale has been in love with me since she was a little girl and she will marry me and only me.
The second he finished speaking, Scarlet stepped out from behind Killian, standing beside him. She met Asher's gaze, her voice clear, every word ringing across the crowd.
Asher Voss, open your eyes and see clearly. Today's engagement banquet is between me, Scarlet Hale, and Killian Cross. It has nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with you.
Silence fell. Asher's smile froze instantly. He stared in disbelief. He turned to the backdrop at the castle entrance gold lettering, spelling the engagement couple, Scarlet Hale and Killian Cross. The glaring words hit him like a sledgehammer to the heart. No, Cross walked out of the castle. Mr. Hale glanced at Asher. He walked straight to Killian, smiling warmly. Yuan Chen, Scarlet, can be stubborn. Thank you for putting up with her. Rest assured, Uncle, his gaze softening as he looked at Scarlet.
Scarlet, what just happened?
Locked me up, forced me to kneel, forced me to serve tea to Mrs. Voss, demanding half of the Hale family's assets as dowry.
The crowd heard everything, their eyes filling with contempt for the Vosses.
How dare you! How dare you! How dare you lay hands on my daughter and force her to kneel? All business colleagues present, mark my words. From now on, anyone who has business dealings with the Voss family is disrespecting me, Hale, and is making an enemy of the entire Hale group.
Silence fell over the crowd. Everyone knew full well the formidable power of the Hale group. Crossing them meant courting ruin. Mr. and Mrs. Voss turned deathly pale, trembling violently and barely able to stand steady. Asher stood frozen, staring blankly at the scene. Only now did he realize he had merely indulged in unrequited affection all along. Scarlet had never been bound to marry him, nor had she ever loved him. Killian gently took Scarlet's hand, his palm warm and firm.
Asher, you don't have to marry her now. We can be together openly. Let's go.
Asher shoved her away harshly. Chloe lost her balance and crashed heavily to the ground. Paying no heed to her, Asher fixed his gaze frantically on Scarlet's retreating figure and chased after her.
Scarlet! Come back!
Scarlet halted and slowly turned around.
This must be a misunderstanding. You clearly love only me. How can you marry him?
She raised her hand, revealing the platinum cufflink on Killian's wrist engraved distinctly with the letter C, the initial of his surname. Asher's pupils dilated sharply. All color drained from his face. His body shook uncontrollably, consumed by shock, devastation, and bitter regret. The engagement banquet was warm and joyful. Inside the castle banquet hall, crystal chandeliers sparkled brightly. Melodious violin music drifted through the air as guests chatted and toasted in harmonious cheer. Killian held Scarlet's hand tightly the entire time, his gaze soft and a faint smile lingering on his lips. His usual cold and aloof demeanor vanished completely in her presence.
Our Killian is as cold as ice by nature. He doesn't smile once in a whole year. But today, seeing Scarlet, the corners of his stroth hasn't come down. Exactly. I've been asking my daughter to design a gown for me for years, and she couldn't be bothered. But this time, for her engagement to Killian, she designed her own gown and even made the cufflinks herself.
The elders exchanged warm smiles, enjoying the pleasant atmosphere. Scarlet grew slightly bashful from the compliments, lowering her head with a gentle smile tugging at her mouth. Noticing her blushing cheeks, Killian's eyes softened further.
Why aren't you wearing my family's bracelet?
It's too precious. I want to save it to wear on our wedding day.
Killian let out a low chuckle, his chest vibrating gently, his eyes brimming with deep affection. As she gazed at his tender features, Scarlett fell into a daze. In her past life, she had never known Killian Cross, and their paths never crossed, yet she could not recall where they had met. As if seeing through her thoughts, Killian pulled out his ID card and handed it to her. Encased in a plain black holder, Scarlett flipped it open curiously. Tucked inside the back was a tiny ID photo. It showed a young girl with a ponytail, youthful-faced and bright-smiling, the childhood version of herself.
This is me?
Scarlett looked up at Killian in astonishment, blurred fragments of memories flooding her mind. Back in primary school, a new transfer student joined their class. He had blonde hair and blue eyes, quiet and reserved, struggling to speak Mandarin fluently.
You're that little mute?
Scarlett stared at him in utter shock, unable to believe her eyes. Killian gently stroked the silver cross rosary around his wrist, a soft smile playing on his lips as he slowly nodded.
I went back to Scotland right after I finished elementary school.
I never forgot her all these years. When I grew up and could come back for her, I only saw her chasing Asher with all her heart, loving him humbly and relentlessly. Back to my castle for a period of spiritual reflection. I wanted to cut off all worldly ties and forget her. Fortunately, the abbot said my worldly bonds were unbroken.
Your worldly bonds, and told me to wait another 6 months.
Thank you.
The day your father contacted me to discuss our lifelong companionship was the very last day of those 6 months. Scarlett, you were never a random encounter. You're my predestined lover.
He took her hand firmly, his grip gentle yet resolute. Warmth welled up in Scarlett's heart. After the engagement banquet, Scarlett went straight to the police with her parents and Killian, pressing charges against the Voss family for false imprisonment, intentional harm. The court soon ruled the prenuptial agreement null and void. Mr. and Mrs. Voss were sentenced to 7 days of administrative detention for illegal detention and intentional injury. Killian began looking for a wedding home with Scarlett. They toured a seaside villa on Long Island. Facing the endless ocean, it boasted stunning scenery with blooming flowers all year round. And both of them fell in love with it at first sight. Chatting and laughing, they drove home after viewing the property. The moment the car pulled up at the gate of the Hale Manor, a familiar figure came into view. Asher stood there, holding a large bouquet of bright red roses.
Scarlett, I figured it out. The past was all my fault. I'm a jerk. I loved you all along, but didn't dare admit it. I pushed you away. Scarlett, please, I'm so sorry.
I loved you all along, yet I never dared to admit it. I pushed you away. You have always been the only one in my heart. Ever since you stood up for me and chased away those bullies when we were 7 years old, my eyes have only been on you. I secretly pictured what our wedding would be like. He pulled a cheap plastic ring out of his pocket. A tiny pink rhinestone was set on it, its color long faded.
I've kept it all this time, never let it leave my side. Please marry me. I can't live without you.
Mr. Voss, when you declared publicly that you only love Chloe in this laying, why weren't you this affectionate?
This is between me and Scarlett. It's none of your business.
She looked down at the kneeling Asher with a calm expression. She reached out and gently picked up the plastic ring. Her fingertips brushed over the faded rhinestone.
Kilvin, isn't this the farewell gift I gave you when I graduated elementary school? How did it end up in his hands?
I've never seen this before.
It's the gift I gave you when the whole class gave you presents before you transferred schools. That's what this is.
I remember now.
You said you liked the tongue with the judges, so I went out of our way to mite at the charter. It have my initials, SH.
That's right, I remember. Then uses black marker and hingeries for messy.
Killian finally put the pieces together. A faint mocking smile tugged at his lips as he spoke calmly. The truth was plain for all to see. Asher had stolen the ring and foolishly convinced himself it had been meant for him. Killian took the ring from Scarlett and slipped it gently onto her finger. Killian wrapped his arm around her tenderly, his voice unyielding. The right? She is my fiancé. We're getting our marriage license tomorrow and holding the wedding next month. Saying this, he walked towards the main house. No, Scarlett, you can't do this to me. Asher was rushed to a private hospital. He needed to stay in hospital for observation for a few days. When he regained consciousness, he felt dizzy and nauseous, his face pale, and his body utterly weak. At the sight of Scarlett, a faint glimmer lit up his dull eyes. He stretched out a trembling hand toward her, his voice hoarse and fragile. Scarlett, my head is spinning. Don't leave me. Killian's gaze turned cold at once. He pulled Scarlett behind him and instructed the bodyguard beside them.
Find a nurse for him. Take good care of him.
With that, he gently took Scarlett's hand and turned to leave the ward. He struggled to sit up, but the movement brought on severe dizziness and nausea, and he began to retch violently. Looking utterly wretched, he frantically pressed the call bell by his bed, crying out in anguish, "Doctor, nurse, come quick, I'm in terrible pain." Watching the doctors and nurses bustling around.
Let me say a few words to him.
Don't be too long. I'll wait for you outside.
Great! Everything can still work out. We'll get our license tomorrow. I'll give you the most magnificent wedding in the world. Anything you want, I'll give it to you.
When I say I don't love you anymore, it's not out of spite, not because I'm jealous of Chloe, not to make you angry. It's real. From the bottom of my heart, I don't love you anymore.
Yet her resolve never wavered. She shook her head softly.
We won't have a good outcome if we're together. I tried it in my dream. In my past life, I married you against all reason. What I got in return was you draining the Hale family's assets. You letting Chloe cause the car accident that killed my parents and me in a fiery blaze, burned to ashes with nothing left. You and Chloe got everything, while my parents and I ended up with our family destroyed, dying with lingering resentment. It was never you and me who had a good ending. It was always you and Chloe.
With that, she turned away without a second glance and walked toward the door. Behind her, Asher broke down completely, his cries filled with hopeless anguish. They echoed the exact same despair she and her parents had felt amid the raging fire in her past life. But this time, she would not look back. She would not repeat the same tragic mistakes. Stepping out of the ward, Killian gently took her hand. He asked nothing, simply holding it tight, his palm warm and reassuring. Chloe was behind it, cornered and desperate. She gathered irrefutable evidence of the Vosses and Asher's crimes, tax evasion, assault on employees, commercial fraud, and handed everything over to the police. The evidence was conclusive. Overnight, the Voss family was drowned in debt, their reputation ruined beyond repair. They would never rise again. Asher vanished completely, never to be seen. On the wedding day, the sun shone bright, and the sea breeze blew soft. The ceremony was held in a seaside church on Long Island. Arches woven with white roses and sparkling crystal decorations created an atmosphere of romance and sanctity. Scarlett wore a bespoke white wedding gown and a diamond tiara, holding a bouquet of white roses. She looked like a princess stepped out of a painting. On her wrist glinted a diamond and platinum bracelet, a treasured heirloom of the Cross family. Killian Cross watched his wife slowly walk over and pulled her into his arms.
Thank you for waiting for me.
No, thank you for choosing me.